Welcome back. Let's find out if we've got anything wrong so far. For that, we go to TV's Andy Levy.
Hi, Greg.
How are you?
I'm good.
Excellent.
I'm good. Surprisingly good.
Ah.
Yeah.
Pleased, I guess.
NYPD tells nightclub workers how to spot potential terrorists. Greg, you said you only go to clubs like the one in this video where you know they're not hiding bombs. John, can we roll that? Yeah, that's why you go there.
I believe in safety first, Andy.
Is it?
Yes.
Safety word
Camaraderie
first.
second.
Safe word first. Ambassador, you said it sounds like what they're trying to do here is profiling without maybe calling it profiling. The actual handbook has a sentence in it that says, quote, Islamic extremists view nightlife establishments as dens of depravity which represent Western decadence and immorality. Patrons of these businesses are viewed as sinful and deserving violent punishment. So it's kind of kudos to the NYPD for actually saying Islamic extremists. That's more than Department of Homeland Security would ever do.
That's true, but you know, the terrorists have to do basic sociological research so that they can understand their targets better. That's really why they're there.
Yeah.
You know, the description of that nightclub made it much more interesting than it is.
Yeah, yeah. By the way, I would think if you saw Islamic extremists in your nightlife establishment, it would mean something bad is going to happen somewhere else the next day. Isn't that how it usually works?
That's a good point. If you see them in a strip club,
yeah, especially
then you definitely got to call the cops.
Yeah, because something's going down tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the thing overall. It's easy to poke fun at something like this by pointing to a few things like the sweating and the bulging veins. I read the whole thing. It's actually pretty good. It says there are many factors that may create suspicion of a suicide bomber, including inappropriate clothing for the season, concealment of the hands, individuals with obvious signs of extreme stress or nervousness, such as bulging veins in the neck, profuse sweating, shaky hands, touching the face continuously, et cetera, et cetera. All of that seems to me to be basic law enforcement stuff that they're trained to look for. So I think, you know, basically shame on you, Joe, shame on you, Lisa, shame on you, Bill, shame on you, Greg, especially shame on you, Ambassador Bolton, and thank you to the NYPD from me for helping to keep us safe.
Wow. Hey, Andy, by the way, we were all aware of the value of this pamphlet. But if we didn't find the funny stuff, we wouldn't have had an opening segment. So we focused on the bulging neck stuff in order to create something imaginative, while, however, delivering helpful service information to the public and also commending our men in blue for their hard work.
And our men in fuchsia who go to those clubs.
Yes.
Call me, Phil.
I just wanted to make fun of people from Staten Island.
Yes.
That's all. I'm sorry.
It was kind of all worth it just for that.
Yes.
Yeah. Bill, you asked, what if you say something really slurry?
Right.
The handbook does tell the nightlife establishment workers to look for, quote, individuals whose speech includes stuttering, mumbling, or chanting, or are hesitant or unresponsive. So you might want to stay home.
Yeah.
Chanting. Is this some club or some sort of harvest ritual?
Or a sports bar.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, actually.
Has Obama quit governing? Ambassador, you said President Obama never went into governing mode, that he's always been in campaign mode. But is that entirely fair? He got a huge health insurance reform bill through Congress. He got rid of Don't Ask, Don't Tell. He has accomplishments, may not be ones that you like, but for a while there, he was actually getting stuff done.
Well, I think the honest answer, though, is this is Nancy Pelosi's health care bill. We still don't know what Obama's health care plan is any more than we know what his budget is.
So do we have to stop calling it Obamacare?
Well, I'd call it Pelosi care. It doesn't bother me.
All right.
I'd rather call it Nancy Care.
Yeah.
That was my nickname in grade school.
Yeah.
And also, come on, we got to admit, I have to say, we did get Bin Laden, so,
Absolutely. Yep.
How soon we forget?
Yes.
Andy?
Greg, Joe, stop calling yourselves libertarians now that it's fashionable.
Please.
It's really annoying.
I was a libertarian when you were in your diapers, which, by the way, was 3 weeks ago.
I was going to say, that really does, that was like right before the show, basically.
Andy, I'd like to refer to my history of drug use as a qualification for
Oh, you're making that a political thing now?
I am now.
Yeah.
Now that I'm out of money.
All right, yeah.
That makes me more libertarian than Ron Paul. Vote for me, ladies.
I use my past experience of not caring about anything.
Yes.
That's good.
Yes.
Slack.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lisa, I agree with you. I think the president is stressed out and didn't realize what the job would entail. More specifically, I think he was shocked to discover that it's not exactly like the West Wing.
I thought you'd agree with me.
Yeah. Greg, those Planet of the Apes models you couldn't put together?
Yes.
Weren't those snapped together?
Yes, they were.
Yeah, I remember those.
They were.
Yeah.
My dad ended up having to do it for
Dude,
me.
that's really sad.
Yeah, I know.
Man. White House buying office supplies in bulk. Lisa, you said someone needs to introduce the Obama administration to Costco. But here's the thing. Buying in bulk is great. It saves money. But don't you run the risk of being wasteful because you bought too much, like Joe with his 60-gallon pickle jar?
Well, there has to be some sort of accountability. I mean, if there's one printer per person, how much more excessive can you get? I mean,
yeah.
I think they'd be saving somewhere. Even if it's one printer per person, at least they'd get a better rate on that one
That's
printer
true.
per person.
Yeah.
I would immediately get a backup printer for the printer.
And one for the cats.
And one for
We
the
don't
cats.
want the printer to be lonely.
Exactly.
Yeah. Joe, how far into that jar of pickles are you?
I ate 2 and I threw the rest away.
Did you? Okay. All right. But it was probably still cheaper than buying 2.
It was. Actually,
Yeah.
I now keep change in the jar, so I
Oh,
think
good.
I
Oh,
got
so
it.
it's all right. Good.
What'd you do with the brine?
that ain't none of your business.
Although it is gone.
Yes, it's,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Also, Joe, you said if we want to save money, maybe we should get rid of some of these agencies. I think we bought them in bulk.
Oh, Andrew.
Shay,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I don't know. Eric
They would
Holder-
start an agency, a department of bulk, if they decided to do this. They would say, okay, we're going to have a department of bulk to decide what to buy in bulk.
We need a czar for that.
We
too.
need a czar of bulk, a bulk
I
czar.
think Ambassador Bolton brought up we actually kind of do have an agency that's supposed to do that, right?
Right, we do, and apparently nobody pays any attention to it. You know, they once did a study of titles in the federal government. They found one that was the administrative assistant to the assistant administrator for administration.
Wow.
It's kind of hot.
Yeah.
Eric Holder says administration still aims to close Gitmo. Ambassador, I agree. Gitmo's not going anywhere, right? Plus, didn't Congress
It's
pass...
going to be in Cuba for a long time, that's true.
Yeah, well, didn't Congress pass legislation that effectively prevents the detainees from being transferred to the U.S., or am I remembering that wrong?
No, that's true, but you know, the administration, which said it was never going to do signing statements on bills like the Bush administration did a signing statement saying that was unconstitutional.
Oh, okay. All right, that's a part
So
I
you don't
forgot.
have to pay attention to it.
All right. Also, though, people keep saying like this is a political thing. What is the political advantage of closing Gitmo? I don't think that makes anyone here in the States, except maybe Glenn Greenwald, happy. I think this was Holder said this in front of the European Parliament. I think this was just him kind of sucking up to Europe.
Yes.
Well, that's
Well.
Obama's basic constituency.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
it's important to get them turned on again.
Except that last time I checked, I don't think they can vote next year.
You'd be surprised.
Really? All right. Maybe in Chicago.
Many
Hey.
times,
Yeah,
many
that's
How
times.
dare you?
Yeah. I'm done.
That you are. All right, go away. Coming up, Jennifer Aniston is dead. Set against talking to Brad Pitt ever again.
Oh.
Why should she, though? He's a cad, Bill. You saw that article.
guess.
But first, what's Gaddafi up to? I don't know. I'll ask him when I get home.